Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our class. Today, we're going to discuss our first lesson in our subject, personal development. But before we start, I'm going to show you a video and later on I will be giving you questions to ponder on. Are you ready? Let's start. Okay, there you have it. What does the video trying to convey, or what does it trying to tell us? That's right, life is short. Another answer? We should seize each moment in our lives. Brilliant. As teenagers, how can you seize your life? Great. You should know your likes and dislikes. In short, you should know yourself. Our lesson 1 is entitled Knowing Oneself. And at the end of the study, you are expected to explain that knowing yourself can make you accept your strengths and limitations and dealing with others better. Share your unique characteristics, habits, and experience. Now, let us go to our content discussion. Look at the picture. What do you see in the photo? You can see here a girl looking at her reflection in the mirror. When you look at yourself into the mirror, what do you see? You may see your ideal self, or you may also see your actual self. What is your ideal self? Your ideal self is what you aspire to be. It is the one you hope to possess the characteristics that of your mentor, your family, or some other worldly figure. It may be affected by the desire of your family or your peers. For example, you want to be an engineer someday because your father or your mother is an engineer. On the other hand, your actual self is the one that you actually see. Do you have brown eyes? Do you have fair skin? Or do you have round face? It is the self that possesses the characteristics you were nurtured of, or in some cases, born to have. Now, these two concepts are two broad categories of self-concept. To know your self-concept, you should identify your ideal self, which is separate from your actual self. It is also said that your actual self is built on self-knowledge, and self-knowledge is derived from social interactions that provide insight into how others react to you. However, we actually don't have the idea on how other people view us. So how do we create our own image? Well, it depends on ourselves, because it's said here that our actual self is our self-image. Now, take note that the alignment between these two selves is important. Why? Because the incongruence will lead in mental distress or anxiety. The greater the level of the incongruence, the greater the level of distress or anxiety. For example, John wants to be a civil engineer someday. However, he comes from a family which runs a business. Therefore, they want him to run their business someday. You can see there from the example that his ideal self is very far from his actual self. So most probably, John will get distressed or anxious in the future. Do you have any questions? None? Great. Let me hear your thoughts. What is your actual self? Is it complementary to your ideal self? Do you think you can achieve your ideal self? Why or why not? Wow, that was great to hear. Now let me ask one more question. How can knowing your ideal self and your actual self help you? Perfect. It will help you accept your strengths and limitations and dealing with others better. It's so good to hear that you learned this morning. So, for your assignment, you will have your talent show or variety show presentation. Record your talent in a video presentation, and your performance will be rated using this criteria. Originality for 5 points, creativity and resourcefulness for 5 points, and audience impact for 5 points. Send your video to my email, gelfelisd@gmail.com. gmail.com.